The following video will show a run-through of a game I made that is meant to be served as an entry for my school's Cesar Chavez Multimedia contest. In the description box below, I've left a download link for both Mac and PC versions of the game. I prefer everyone plays the video game for themselves first, but if that's too inconvenient, then here's a single run of the game. I tried to play the game at a steady pace, but if I went too fast for you to read, you can always pause the video and go back to a previous scene.
So here's the title screen. As you can see, there's a portrait of Cesar Chavez, and in the beginning you have two options, either play or quit. Plus, if you press quit, then you don't actually have the option to quit. However, I made this to be more humorous in a way, also to represent the fact that Cesar Chavez was more of a person who stuck to his goals and never really gave up. The portrait you see in the title screen is Cesar Chavez himself, and as you can see, he looks rather realistic. In order to make the game, I decided to shrink him down a bit and made him more of a, say, cartoon character. Maybe he doesn't look as serious in the title screen, but that I don't think it has too much significance, but it just brings more of the appeal to the game. That's why I chose that sort of animation. As you can see, the level 1 right here is a politician. The story behind this, what I had in mind, was it's currently election time, and people are voting, and politicians are trying to get people to vote on their side. So that's why there are politicians running around. They're just being active around this time, and you, as Cesar Chavez, your goal isn't to talk to these politicians. Your goal is to talk to an individual and convince them to vote. And I chose this kind of more of a field background in order, not for any particular reason. There's no historical context behind it. I just want the beginning of the game to become basic. As you go on more of the game, there's more references. And here we have a battle, more of a discussion with one of the characters in my game. This certain character is an individual who decided not to vote because he had to wash his car. All of these characters have excuses for supposedly not voting, and if you press run, you restart the entire level. If you choose to fight in the scene, a text box will appear saying that you should not resort to violence. The rather joke or reference I was trying to create was that you're supposed to be a pacifist, and you're not supposed to hurt anyone to obtain your goals. That's why earlier in stage 1, you cannot injure the politicians. The only option you have is to jump over them and avoid them. For the persuade option, this entire scene was implemented so I can incorporate the quote into the video game itself. The act of persuading one individual is supposed to represent how Cesar Chavez wants to project his ideas, of which he said in the quote, to other people. So here's level 2. The sign says don't let anyone get hurt, and what I wanted to mean by that is if one of these two people were to touch a politician, you kind of restart the level because you bumped into a person, and that's sort of an act of violence. So after convincing the individual in the previous scene, he now becomes your follower and decides to tag along with you to vote. As you can see, the theme of this level is a farm theme to reference Cesar Chavez Unionist days, as while he was boycotting grapes. As you can see previously, I've used some of the nature in order to help with obstacles. Tall grass was used to hide politician, so to create more of a difficult obstacle to pass. And the pigs were supposed to assist you in jumping over that one politician and walking in the mud. As you can see, I add grapes as a reference to the entire boycotting of grapes. And here we have a conversation with a second individual. This individual's reason for not voting is because she has errands to run. There's no historical context behind the reason as to why these characters cannot vote. They were just general excuses that I consider everyone to have. In contrast to the other discussion scene, this time your followers tags along, and well, if you click persuade, then Cesar Chavez will initiate the conversation and attempt to convince this girl to vote. In the end, Carl, or the individual you have convinced earlier to vote, says this quote to your follower, supports your ideals by saying what you've said previously to them. And here we have the third scene. You're on a grape truck. Of course, this is completely fictional, but to create this type of level to break off from the other previous levels. I just wanted a sense of uniqueness, as was the final level of the game. I wanted everything to feel more rushed, and as you noticed, there's a build-up of I guess you could say work from the background artwork and everything along with that, because I wanted to create the feel that as a single individual, your task seems rather slow. There seems to be an extreme amount of distance between your goal and your current position, but as more people join and support you, this distance begins to shorten and everything feels like your goal seems possible after getting a lot of people to support you. That's why in level 3 it's the most rushed up feeling. I even attempted to use music that is extremely fast paced. The stage was in more of a 3D aerial perspective for two reasons. One, I wanted to break off from the first two levels of artwork, and two, this artwork would allow for the use of street lights as an obstacle. Well, here's the city hall. There are 4 paintings in this, which the bagel or the circle represents unity, the duck represents peace, and melting out the ice cube represents the destruction of an old society where people would not participate. The scythe represents the harvest of new ideas and participation. Right here, there's a leap of faith. I created this because, well, it makes more sense that politicians don't run in a voting vicinity, because they're more getting ready for the vote themselves. Once you jump past that, you'll go to a podium, and what I wanted this to represent was that Cesar Chavez was able to announce to the world that they should vote